I'm going to show you how easy it is to get this freeze frame paper effect just like this in Adobe Premiere. What is up, guys? Tyler here from Cinepacks, and we actually just dropped a collab pack of this paper whiteout effects with our guy SUZYMADEIT. If you guys don't know SUZYMADEIT, he's another Bay Area director, and he really pioneered this whiteout paper freeze frame effect. I'm going to show some of his videos. You have definitely seen them if you watch any type of music video. His effects are all over. So we actually collabed with him. We created the effect right here in my room. I'm going to show a clip of that. It was a lot of fun. We created the pack together, so you guys don't have to do this by hand and print it out and scratch it up yourself. We made it so you could do it in post, and it also gives you a lot of flexibility. I'm going to show you guys how to do this in Premiere. We have a free sample if you want to download that. I'm going to link that down below, but we do have a full paid pack, which I'm personally going to be using. Tons of assets in it, so let's hop into Premiere and let me show you how to do this. This is what comes in the free pack. You have a 15% discount right there. You have some paper texture just like that, and you have a face and a scratch. So I imported them in Premiere. I put them in a free folder. All these effects are fully transparent, so if I go here and I go to show transparency grid, you can see it right there. It's hard to see because, and there is the scary little face. Awesome. So I'm gonna pull in everything in the paid pack. So the paid pack comes in 3 different downloads. So here's the first one. We have the black pen texture, we have objects, we have paper textures. So these are all the different paper textures. Then we have sound effects. So I'm gonna drag all these and just like that. Imports directly into your editor. Here's number 2, the paint one. That one was a pretty large download. And then 3 is the alphabet and scratches. So that's everything that is in the paid version. I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna bring in some footage, and then we're gonna get straight into knocking out an edit. So I'm gonna use this clip right here. This is some free footage you can download on our website. This is from the contest we hosted a few years ago. So I've used this footage a bunch, but it works great just for tutorials like this. So I just add a little bit of contrast, and then let's find where we're going to want to do the freeze frame. So pro tip for you guys here, this is going to save you a lot of time. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come up to keyboard shortcuts. And for number 3, I changed that to nest. So every time I hit 3 on the keyboard, that means I don't have to go and nest it. I can just highlight everything I want and I can hit nest. So 4 is actually set as add frame hold. So if I hit 4 on my keyboard, it's gonna basically do a freeze frame of that image, which is super useful for this because once you're doing it a lot, that's really it's gonna save you a lot of time for how much you're gonna be doing it. So I would recommend that. It may mess up your, if you're doing multi-camera edits, but I don't do those, so that's why I set this as this. So 3 and 4 work perfect. So basically I'm gonna find where I wanna do a freeze frame, maybe when his hands come out like that and his mouth looks a little weird there. All right, let's freeze frame right there. So I'm just gonna hit tap 4 on my keyboard, and look at that. I could drag this out for as long as I want, and it goes freeze frame, just like that. You can totally use the free assets, but I'm gonna dive into the paid assets. So first thing we're gonna want is we're gonna wanna grab the paper texture. So pick a paper texture you like. I'm gonna grab this one. And we can just rotate that. And we'll change that blending mode to screen. So one thing I like to do as well is I kind of like to make, just a light different color grade on the paper. I may fade it a little bit. I may make it a little more saturated. And I may even just like warm it up. You could put a LUT on it. You could really do what you want. I just want it to look a little more different, like this was actually printed out. The next thing we can do is we can actually come over to our scratches. So we have all these different scratches. Like these are cool little things you could scratch someone's eyeballs out with. I think my personal favorite scratch to use is this one. So I'm going to teach you how to scratch out somebody. So let's trace out his body right here. Let's just trace around him. It might be a little bit hard, but let's go ahead and go for it. He's also upside down, so that makes it fun. So I'm gonna grab this scratch number 2 right here, and we're gonna drag both of these out for a really long time just for now. And so let that play. It overlays right over your image. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're going to want to scale it down. You're going to want to move it to where you want it. So let's say we want to go. So I'm going to start right here on his jacket. I'm going to do a scratch like that. I'm going to move frame by frame. I'm going to find right where it ends. So I'm going to move and figure out right where it ends. And then I'm going to hold Alt or Option, depending if you're on a Mac or PC. And then right around the time that ends, I'm going to grab the next one. I'm going to swing it around. I'm going to scale it up. And just like that, we're already tracing his body. So now I'm going to hold Alt again, and you kind of get the process. So you just keep doing this until you're fully traced around your subject. And you can get as fine and as detailed as you want. You just want to figure out where it ends up. So, I mean, we can really just cut around and we don't really have to be too precise. Then we even have like little curved pieces like this that you can use. So we can put this around his head. Just rotate that around, scale it down, scale it down just like that. Boom. So it would go. We could even move that over just a little bit. Starts a little sooner. You just want to find the right rhythm. So we'll grab another scratch 2. So right when that's done, and then scratch 2 should already be started. So we're going to move that. So that's pretty much it. You would finish that up all the way. So I'm going to show you what to do once you're done tracing your subject. So now you can see we play it all the way through and it goes, but then it starts deleting itself at the end. So what we're going to want to do is we're basically just going to open this up. We're going to tap 4 on each of these, adding us a nice frame hold. Whatever your shortcut was for frame hold, you would just press that. Then we're going to let those go all the way through. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch all these out. Then I would basically just make a cut through all these, delete them all. Then we're going to select them all and we're going to make a nest. I put nest as 3 on my keyboard. So I'm going to make a nest. So now when we freeze frame, we're there and it holds all the way down. But if you've seen this effect, it's fast, it's quick. So what you're going to want to do is I'm just going to hit R on my keyboard, rate stretch tool right there. And I'm going to speed this up to my liking. So that's good, but it honestly could be a lot quicker. This effect is quick. That's honestly good right there. So that's how easy it is to trace someone out. And the cool thing about this is there's a lot you can add to it in post. So let's say we wanted to make this trace out red. We could easily drag on tint and we can change that to red. Or if we wanted to make it bright blue. And you can obviously play around with like the lumetry of it and do whatever you like. There's a lot more flexibility with this. So let's go ahead and add some more effects into here and really make this sell. So let's go into paint and let's look around. So we have these really cool paint blobs. I mean, we could literally just smack that on his face real quick. So as we zoom in, let's see. There goes his face. I mean, we could totally do that. We can scale that down. We can rotate it. And it needs to be scaled way down. And we'll just scratch out its face. Why not? Bam. It can even come in a little bit earlier. So we have things like this, like these paint blobs or this one. So we also have this for the final frame. This is cool. Splatter to put over. And let's say we wanted to crisscross it. We can easily just throw on a horizontal flip. Boom, crisscross, and we'll delay that by like a second. So it's like, yep, cool. And then it would probably just cut right there. So I'll delete the rest. We would make this quick. And I think that's pretty good for this. There's definitely a lot more you can add, but I'm going to do some, I mean, we also have these objects as well. So let's see what we could do. These go on like eyeballs. Let's see what else we have. We have these masks that are super cool. We have the gun. That might be too much. We have the scary faces. The wings, I mean, we could put some X's off to the side just for fun. Where would these look good? We could do like 2 of these right here, and then we could also do another 2. We'll like flip them upside down, and we'll put these up over here to kind of just make it feel framed out. So let's watch that. Boom, X's, zoom in, bam, bam. So the only thing I would say is we'll put these up over them. Those are the splatters, so we'll move those down. And lastly, what you'd want to add is you probably want to hit 4 on your keyboard and just drag that first X out. So it has the, it keeps it for as long as you need it. I think that looks great. So now what we want to do is we're going to want to turn this entire thing into a nest. So we'll select all these and we'll hit 3. So it's nice and clean. So now when we watch it, we have this. And then the best thing about nesting this is now we can do the classic Ken Burns. And Ken Burns is basically just a simple push in. And let's say we want to push into his face. So we would go to the very end and just adds a little extra movement, you know? So one thing I also like to do is add like a flash. So you can do really any transition to enter into these. But a flash is pretty easy. Usually I'll just grab like levels and I'll put that on an adjustment layer, and in between I'm gonna flash, and we'll go frame by frame here. Tap that again. We'll go back to 0. It's gonna flash, come back down, maybe flicker a little bit, and then back down to 0. So play that. Flash, look at that. But you don't have to make sound effects like I did. We actually included sound effects. Haha. Let me know what you guys thought about that sound effect, but let me find our sound effects. So we have sound effects. Check this out. And like I said, you can totally change the color of everything. So like these splatters at the end, let's say we wanted to make these red. This might be a better example. So let's go to tint and we'll drag on tint. And let's make them both red. Easy like that. So that is red. And let's just copy the same red. Awesome. So you can obviously add like a glow and a flicker to this if you want. That's up to you. But that's the great thing about the assets is that they're alpha files, so you can really add any effect you want to them. You can add glow, you can add flicker. Cool, let's just do like a simple little title right here. So we have this. So let's do a title. So we have this, and I'm just gonna freeze frame right there. And let's get some beautiful, let's get some paper texture in here. Let's do the rippy one, why not? Flip it 90. I actually scanned these myself. We'll bring down the brightness, add a little contrast to it. We don't want it too much. I think that looks good. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab paint, and I like this one. This one's a really good like title right here. Look at that. Very cool. So let's drag these out a little bit just so we have some time for the title. Boom. So that's probably when we'd want the text coming up. So we're going to go into alphabet. So we have lowercase and we have uppercase and we have numbers. So I'll just show you a quick way to do it. So we'll scale this down and we'll just put it where we want it. So it comes in like that. Bam. Very cool. Grab the I, and then I would honestly just move it like a frame or two away. Scale that down so it looks like it's writing in order. And then let's go to in. Pretty much the same thing as the same thing before. And if you feel like this in is a different shade, it looks that way because we actually drew these, and the marker has like, you know, starts drying out, it gets variations. Just bring down the blacks, or if you want to like change the color of this is super easy as well. So here we go. We have Cine, and just like that, you can type everything out. So if you want to animate everything, you could totally come here So if you want to animate everything, you could just nest it and you can slowly zoom it in if that's something you want to do. Like that. You can really play around with it. Another thing you do if you wanted to change the color of all of this text, we'll nest those, and then like before, we'll grab tint. We'll grab that, drag that on, and we'll drag black to, let's say we want it red. And just like that, you can change the color of the text or the ink per se. Super easy. Cool, so we'll do this. We'll hit 4 again on this one. We'll drag that out. So here we are, speed ramp, slow motion, freeze frame. That's all good. So let's go through this one more time. Let's go ahead and grab some paper texture. Let's grab this one here. I mean, if you want to get really wild, I mean, we could scale this one up. We could go screen, and then we could play with the opacity. That looks good. And then what we can do as well, sometimes I like to just bring him up right here. And then I'm just going to grab this mask tool, and then and then I'm going to draw a mask around him. So that's the cool thing about this is you don't even have to like rotoscope because you only have to do 1 frame. So yeah, you could really just draw like a quick, dirty little mask in Premiere, and usually that does the trick. This one's a little bit tricky since he has his arms out, but I mean, you could totally hop into After Effects and do this and get really precise. Or you could also make this full screen. I'm not making it full screen. I'm just being a little bit lazy here, but so now what we can do is, now that we have this, we can easily go into objects. Nope, not objects. Well, we do have some pretty cool objects. Let's make, even though his eyes are covered, let's make his eyes bleed. Why not? You know, I think that's fun. And we'll just duplicate it, and then we'll just right there, you know, I don't know, that's kind of funny. We can like cover her up. Let's do that. So we're focusing on him. So we would go to, so we have some cool stuff in Paint for that. So let's take a look through some of these. These are transparent, so you can even use these as transitions. We have a paint blob there. I think we have like a cool splatter. Let's see. Yeah, we have the swirl. This is cool. So we can use this. And this can kind of fill up some space just over in the corner, you know. And then the cool thing is, though, we can also, let's say we do, where's that rectangle at? Where's the big rectangle? Rectangle fill. Cool thing is, this can actually go behind them. And this can also be changed to, let's go, I think red is always like a stick with that red theme. Boom. So it covers in all red. I don't like that blob there. I'm going to delete that. So obviously I didn't key him out the best. If we trace his arm and scratches, that would look really good. But what else could we do? So we also do have some black pen. We could put this on his head if we wanted to. A little thorn crown. Lastly, we included these really cool, I'm going to delete the rectangle fill since that doesn't look good, but we have these wraps, and these are really cool. So we have 2 of these. This one's, it's like a loop, and you can basically wrap your subject. If you've ever used glow effects, you must be familiar with these. So the cool thing is we can go position scale. We want to animate those, and we're going to wrap this up his arm here. Okay. So we're going to start right here, and I'm going to be just going frame by frame. And then that one's going to go there. And then it's slowly going to climb up his arm, okay? And then it's spinning around. Then we're back on the left. And then it's spinning around. We don't have rotation on, so let's do rotation. We'll drag that keyframe there. Boom, boom. That's good. I'll scale this down. And we just want to rotate it a little bit just so it looks like it's actually climbing up his arm. And we'll keep going a little bit higher. There it goes. Boom. Keep that there. And then we'll probably duplicate it. We'll do it twice. So then on the duplicated one, we'll delete everything. We'll bring it back to here. And then Here we are. We don't have the scale anymore, so let's scale that back down. I accidentally deleted that. Give it a slight little rotate. Watch that. And it looks good. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. I'd really appreciate that. We spent a lot of time making this pack. We had a lot of fun. I definitely want to get Suzy on the podcast. Just hear a little insight on how he creates everything and his thought process behind it. So if you guys enjoyed this, like the video, subscribe. I'm Tyler Casey with Cinepacks. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.